absent-mindedly, further assimilating into the tableau of the cafe. The waiter returned as quickly as he'd departed, and unceremoniously deposited a small glass of dark tea full of mint leaves, sugar crystals visibly sinking into the depths. Tom sipped the scalding hot amber liquid, trying not to screw up his face at the overpoweringly pre-sweetened flavour. He picked up an Arabic newspaper from the empty table next to him and settled in while he watched the door and waited. Through his jeans pocket, he pressed the transmitter tone switch twice, to indicate to control that he was in position. 2 tones received. Do you have a clear eyeball? Tom replied with 2 tones. 2 tones. Roger. Wait. Out. The tinny voice of Damien, the boss at the control centre at Basra Palace, was clear in his ear. Tom sat with his tea, looking at the newspaper as if he was deep in thought, while twirling his prayer beads, his eyes fixed on the green door across the street. The tinny voice sparked up in his ear again. Alpha 1 foot. Stand by. Friendlies approaching venue. We understand the package is already in place, Damien said. Tom replied with 2 tones. 2 tones. Roger. Stand by. Relayed Damien. Tom's senses were at their peak as he waited for the 2 CIA agents to arrive at the premises. He had not seen any obvious signs of surveillance on his journey from the palace to the cafe, nor were there any on the target premises opposite. He casually surveyed his fellow cafe dwellers. If he'd been able to identify the cafe as the best vantage point for the rendezvous, then so could any hostiles. His brief survey didn't reveal anyone of concern, the tables mostly occupied with small groups of elderly men, all chatting amiably or playing dominoes. A crackle erupted in his ear. All units. Package moving up towards target premises. With you in 2 minutes, Alpha 1. Tom remained impassive, his eyes ostensibly on the newspaper, but peripherally covering the door. He was well practiced at being able to closely observe a target point without necessarily staring directly at it. The operation had been sold to them as a simple counter-surveillance operation, to watch the backs of the CIA agents Mike and Hamid as they met a potential asset in the apartment above the barbershop opposite. The powers that be wanted to make sure that the agents were not being followed ahead of the meeting, given that they were in a very dangerous part of Basra, with militia groups and criminal kidnap gangs active in the area. As the Special Reconnaissance Regiment, SRR unit, currently in Basra, Tom's team was the best one for the job. Hugely experienced in covert surveillance in hostile environments. The operation was meat and drink to them. After a few moments, he saw Mike and Hamid approaching the barbershop from their Subaru, which was parked about 20 meters away on Al-Sadi Street. Mike was wearing a blue jacket and had a red and white shamar around his neck, a dark baseball cap pulled low over his face, with sunglasses just peeking out from beneath. Hamid was dressed in chinos and a blue fleece to protect against the early evening chill, and also had a shamar around his neck. Tom could see no obvious watchers. The pair didn't seem to be attracting any unusual attention. The plan was that they should be visible and in the open for the least possible time between exiting their vehicle and entering the premises. Tom affected a yawn, covered his mouth with his hand, and without his lips moving said, "From Alpha 1, you're clear to proceed." He received 2 tones of acknowledgement in his ear from Mike or Hamid. He kept his peripheral vision on the pair as they pushed the green door open and went inside.